Hi, today we're talking about a very popular subject. You're sick of hearing this, aren't you? The Mandela effect. I'm sick of hearing about it, to be honest. So I'm kind of interested in it at the same time, yet I get kind of sick of the same old things. So uh, today I'm talking about my own experience with what we now refer to as the Mandela effect. And it happened in my childhood. And we're going back to when I was about 10, 11, 12, and I was not a great runner or athlete. I could run fast if I wanted to. Well, no, not if I wanted to. I could, but I didn't always. I was often slow and would lag behind the others because of asthma. And I remember, for the purpose of this story, I will call her Sarah because I'm really imaginative. So we're going to call this girl Sarah. She was slow. She was the snail of my grade. She was slow. I don't mean in school, that's mean. I mean as a runner. As a runner in school, she was slow. And I would look behind me. I'd be sort of lagging behind the others, and I'd look behind me. Phew, Sarah's behind me again. I'm not the slowest, thank God. And so she was always slower than me. I was the second slowest, she was the slowest, and I could always count on that. And then one day, and I admit it may have been after I'd had a fairly long absence, maybe a few weeks, a fairly long absence from school. We had another little a sports day, not a big sports day, but an afternoon where we do sport, and we were running. This is primary school, and we had a running race, and I did quite well this time. I did actually very well. I don't know whether I was um, second or third or something like that, but either way, I placed well. And so did Sarah, and she was right behind me. She was behind me as usual. I beat her again, but when I came out of the finish line, there was this excitement. I wasn't even a popular kid. Um, I've got all the kids around me. They're going, and it's not that they're shocked that I even did well. They're shocked that I beat Sarah. I beat Sarah, and this could never happen. All of a sudden, this was the most amazing thing, that I had beat Sarah, that somebody, maybe just that it was me, I was never that fast. I think someone else came first, I don't know, but it was just this amazing thing that I had beat Sarah. I was faster than Sarah, and they were practically ready to throw a parade in the street. My best friend was amazed. They're all gathering around me. They're taking me off to other people saying, Linda's beat Sarah, Linda's beat Sarah. And I'm just in my head thinking, what is happening here? I'm just in my own little awful world, uh, that where I'm feeling once again, and I think this is the last time that it actually happened in my childhood, and the most memorable time. It's the only, it had happened before, with me feeling that things had changed, and this had been happening for years, and all of it. This was the biggest one. This is the biggest thing to happen. This is the most significant. It's the one that I remember, and it was, and I'm just in such a kerfuffle in my head. I'm so upset in my head. I should be happy, but I'm not, because I want to tell them. The world's just changed. Reality has shifted again, and this is not the world I know. This is not the reality I know. This is not right. Um, Sarah was not a fast runner. All of a sudden, she was the one to beat. She was a big, fast Sarah. She was the runner, and or one of them, right up there with Rachel, who was a great runner. And uh, and so I was very, very upset, though I didn't really show it. And I remember going to my best friend, and I sort of tried. I remember exactly what I said. I tried to get through. I just simply said, "I've beat Sarah before." And she looked at me so blankly and so incredulously and said, "No, you haven't. There's no way that could have happened. That was just not possible that I had ever beat Sarah before." And so I remember sitting back down with my friends, just feeling, really believing that I was in a different reality. And I can't explain it. I don't necessarily believe in what we call the Mandela effect. And I can't explain it. Did she become a really fast runner in those 3 weeks that I was away, that I was not at school? Did it happen then, and did all the other kids just forget? But it seemed to be that the very idea of me having ever beat Sarah was not possible. It was just, she was such a great runner all of a sudden. It's just very strange. I'm trying to think if there was anything else I was going to say. Yeah, I think that was it. I think that's it. That's the story. So thank you for listening.